This program has been brought to you by Cell One, Parleyville Pharmacy, and Butterfield and Vallis.
Welcome to 2015's 10 Most Fascinating People of Bermuda. I'm Lisa Pickering. Everyone has a story, a little something that makes them unique, especially right here in Bermuda. But what does it mean to be fascinating? We've put together a list of 10 Bermudians that captured the headlines in 2015. Whether they've been the subject of controversy or of great praise, there isn't an individual on this list that hasn't come up in conversation around the dinner table, at the office, or at social gatherings. Each individual featured on this list share one thing in common. They all have shown passion, determination, and perseverance in the face of setbacks. The list is in no particular order, but the final subject revealed is this year's most fascinating person of Bermuda. Let's get started. A spinal defect at birth may have prevented Jessica Lewis from walking, but that didn't stop her from becoming a track sprinting gold medal winner at last year's Para-Pan Am Games in Toronto. Known affectionately by local media as the Golden Girl of Bermuda sport, the 2015 IBC World Championship bronze medal winner and Paralympian was born weighing only 3.5 pounds and is credited for shining the spotlight on the Paralympic community in Bermuda. There's no doubting that Jessica Lewis has captured the attention and hearts of many in Bermuda, and that's what makes her our most fascinating person of 2015.
My coach kind of calls it my coming out year, and I'm truly grateful to my sponsors, Tokyo Millennium Re, who bought my new track chair this year. So I definitely think having the equipment helped a lot this year, just because new chairs we have upholstery seating so that you're able to adjust how you're sitting, just because we don't know what is the best position right when you start. So once we got that nailed down, and then I transferred into my new chair, which is now a hard panel. So now when I'm putting power into the wheel, all the power is going into the chair instead of moving me. So I'm pretty much solid in the chair, which makes a huge difference. But we were having this conversation how the Para-Pan Am medal is just the Pan American countries, which is pretty amazing. And then to come away with a medal at the World Championships was absolutely incredible, just because it's more athletes around the world and more countries. So yeah, it's pretty great to be up there with them.
How do you focus mentally for those kind of races?
I mean, the 100 at Para-Pan Am, the final was the night after my 800 final, and the 800 didn't go as well as I had hoped. So I lost a little bit of focus, but my coach kind of brought me back in, and I think just knowing that the 100 meter was the race that we were going for at that competition kind of helped me as well.
You've experienced something that few people have, and that's being on a podium.
Yeah.
What is that feeling like?
Oh, it was absolutely incredible. Like, I got goosebumps. It was amazing, and to watch the Bermuda flag raise was absolutely incredible.
And you called the chair the Pink Panther, correct? Where did that name come from?
Actually, my friend at school, when she first saw the chair, she's like, "Oh, it looks like a panther," and then it has like the pink steering. So she's like, "Oh, we should call it the Pink Panther." And of course, pink is my favorite color, so that was like perfect. Yeah.
And so for next year, what are some of the goals? Obviously, Rio's on there, but what else are you looking at?
Mainly Rio right now is our main goal. In my classification, because in disability sports, they have different classifications, so you're racing against people of your own ability. So I'm a T53 racer, which means that my core muscles aren't really there, whereas a 54 would have better core strength. So 51 to 54 are your spinal cord injuries, and then you have a whole bunch of different classes. So my classification, at Rio, there will only be the 100, 400, and 800, and I do 1, 2, 4, and 8. So right now we're training for the 400 and 800 just because we know the 100 is pretty good right now. So the longer ones aren't my strongest yet, so we're working on developing power and strength and doing like more, a little bit more distance work in our training. When I'm at school, obviously I have to balance track and schoolwork, so I'm taking 3 courses instead of 5 just to balance it all. So I'll work out in the gym 3 days a week with a personal trainer lifting weights for about half an hour a session. and then the other days I'll be in my track chair, and then just depending on how I'm feeling that day, if I need a rest day or how close we are to a competition, and sometimes I'll double up so that I can have a day off.
In terms of sacrifice, it's huge for an athlete. A lot of things that they have to miss out on. You spend your weekends training at your coach's place. Tell me a little bit about that.
So on Friday nights, I get on a bus at Brock University, right in the center of the university, and it takes me to Square One in Mississauga, where my coach picks me up. So that bus ride is probably 2 hours or so. So I do that every Friday, and then I get back on the bus Sunday night and go back to Brock that night. So I do that every week. And then I'll train during the week. My coach will send me what to do, and then he'll like modify stuff on the weekend, and that's when I train with his other athletes as well.
Where does that kind of dedication come from?
I mean, I just love the sport so much that it's not really that big of a deal to me. Like, I mean, there are some weekends where it's like, okay, like, especially when it's snowing, like it's like, okay, I have to take all this stuff to the bus. But I mean, I just love it so much that it doesn't really matter to me. Yeah.
In terms of parasports in Bermuda, you've accomplished a lot of firsts. I have a long list here, so I have to read it all. I can't even memorize it all. In 2011, you became the first athlete to represent Bermuda at a Para-Pan Am game. Again, the medal this year, you won the first medal at the World Championship, first track and field athlete at a Paralympic level. Yeah. Does it ever floor you how much you've achieved in a short amount of time?
Definitely, yeah. Like when I look back on it, I think it's pretty incredible, and it definitely motivates me more to see how much further I can go.
Have you seen an increase of interest in parasports, not even from the community watching, but even from individuals wanting to participate?
I definitely think it's starting to grow. I do think that there is a lot more improvement that can be made. I think it's just bringing more awareness and more awareness of the different kinds of sports and the different kinds of levels that there is that you can compete at. Like, you can just do it recreationally. It doesn't have to be something that takes you all around the world or to different competitions.
I was on your blog. You seem to repeat being yourself and self-acceptance.
Yeah.
When did you get to, or maybe you've always had, a feeling of self-acceptance?
I definitely didn't. When I was younger, when I was a kid, I never wanted to have my disability, and I didn't want anybody to ask about it, and I didn't want to have it. But I kind of got over that because I realized that this was the life I was given, and I could either let it defeat me and consume me, or I could conquer it. And my grandmother was a huge influence on that, because that was always her saying. So I think just my family supporting me and showing me that there are things that you can do and not holding me back definitely helped as well.
And what would you say are some of the biggest misconceptions about parasports or disabilities in general?
I definitely think that one of the things is that I've had a lot of people not realize how much training goes into it, and they think, oh, the girl in the chair is just getting in the chair, they're just giving her something to do. But I mean, we're hitting speeds that are crazy. Like, my best speed is actually last week a 36.1K on the roller, wow. And then my best on a track is 30 something. And I mean, the guys are hitting anywhere up to like 45, 46K an hour. So I mean, it takes a lot, and I don't think they realize how serious it is and how much you actually have to train. Yeah.
Have you seen any change within the community in terms of how people speak to you or treat you now that you are an athlete?
Definitely, yeah. Like, it takes a long time sometimes to go into town, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, hey, it's you," and I'm like, "Yeah." But it's pretty great to see that, just because I want to bring awareness about disability and that you can do things.
What are your aspirations following school?
I definitely want to come back to Bermuda. I don't like the winter in Canada.
Neither do I.
So definitely to come back to Bermuda, and I really want to work at Windreach is my main goal, just because they've given me so much in my life, and I want to give back, and I want to get back to Bermuda.
And that wraps up the list for the most fascinating people of Bermuda 2015. Please feel free to send your suggestions for 2016 to burmibios@gmail.com. I'm Lisa Pickering, and thanks for watching.
This program has been brought to you by Cell One, Parleyville Pharmacy, and Butterfield and Vallis.
With Cell One, you simply get more. More 4G speed and reliability across the island. More warranty coverage from the only carrier authorized to resell Apple iPhones in Bermuda. More first-class service with our 24/7 customer care, whether you're in-store, on the phone, or online. More services, mobile phones, long distance, and home internet, all with one company. Get more with one. Cell One.